This one's for anyone who's got more money than time to start a business, and they've actually got the golden handcuffs at work, working 60 hours a week, and they know they don't want to travel so much and dedicate that much time to work anymore. And in order to build that freedom, they want to go about it using money rather than their time. This is the podcast for 10xing your income and replacing your W-2 through the proven business model of wholesaling real estate, a strategy where you can make big checks for finding rundown houses. My name is David Lecko. I created a process that's helped people close 10,000 deals in all 50 states, and my co-host Ryan Haywood has done 425 deals in St. Joseph, Missouri since he started in 2019. Today, our guest is Jeff Rose, who in the DealMachine community Facebook group, I asked, who is stuck wholesaling? Who needs help to get advice on how to get unstuck? Jeff, so Ryan and I have been doing the podcast for a year. He's been one of our most successful customers. He's done over 400 deals. And he started in 2019 when his sales job had a different commission structure. And he was like fed up and just did a 14-day wholesaling challenge and was off to the races since then. So we started a podcast last year, asked him to be my co-host. Now, typically we interview success stories. And I decided it would be cool to, switch it up. And I posted last week in the community if there's anyone who'd want advice who feels like they're stuck wholesaling. So Ryan's going to be the one giving you the advice. We've booked 15 minutes, so if we need more time, we could book another time. But just so you guys know what the time slot is here, because we would have to stop after 15 minutes here too. So hoping we can make some progress, and this is the first time we're doing it. So maybe we could start by, Jeff, you kind of telling us what your situation is. I know you want to do wholesaling because you're traveling a lot for work.
Yeah, that's kind of... That's correct. My situation is I kind of got that golden handcuff scenario. So I've been at my job. It pays well. So I'm not hurting for money, but the requirement is for my job is to travel. So I actually do pipeline construction projects. So I'm traveling all over. I might be in Minnesota next month or, down in Texas or wherever. So I'm looking to get something established where I can stay home and just live a normal life almost. I've been on the road for so long. It's just, I don't even know what that looks like anymore. But so I cheated a little bit. I'm not necessarily stuck, but I'm new to the wholesale thing. And I'm just looking for some direction because there's a lot of different options out there, marketing options, things of that nature. And I work 60 hours a week. So I'm in a position to where I'm wanting to capitalize or leverage more of my money versus my time. I've got more money to spend than time right now. And that, I think, plays into different marketing strategies for me to execute on versus someone that, is just coming out. They're young. They've got, little money in the bank and that's it. They may be, doing a lot of things that are on the cheap, free marketing type options and stuff. So I got one contract that is signed and in the works. I should close on that next month. And that's going to be the first wholesale transaction for me on this new journey.
Buyer and so you've got it under contract with a buyer as well?
Yeah, buyer and seller. Locked it up on Sunday.
Nice.
How'd you get that one? Congratulations.
Thank you. I want to see the check in hand and then I'll congratulate myself because I know there still could be a lot of hurdles to come over. But I actually found that deal through direct mail. So I've been mailing out over the past 3 weeks to probate leads. So I'm pulling the leads down off of the county website and then mailing out to those personal representatives to see if they've got any property that they want to sell.
Good. Ryan, saw you, buddy.
Okay.
I can step in if you want to, but that was my pitch was somebody with 400 deals under their belt was going to give advice.
Yep, I'm ready for it. First off, I love the idea of attacking that probate list. Something that you could do, being that time is more of an issue. You don't have time to go driving for dollars. So that marketing strategy is probably not a good one. But
I'm using that one. So I've got my brother driving for me.
Okay.
So he's using the DealMachine software, and he's driving for me. He's on his days off.
How many leads is he able to pull in a given month? Or in his time since he's been doing it, how many leads is he pulling you?
I got about 650 leads in DealMachine right now from driving for dollars, and we just kind of got geared up. I'm saying I'm probably looking at 400 leads, 400 to 500 a month, but we're only driving like a day a week.
Okay, and so
that can be spun out.
What are you on your marketing, even with the probate leads and the driving for dollars leads? Do you just put them in a mail campaign and start sending postcards? What's your strategy as far as reach out?
So we haven't done anything yet. I'm at that stage where we're just started getting leads going. But the strategy was to do postcards to those driving for dollar leads. And I'm going to try and do not just a single mailing, but try and do like a 3-month period where I hit them once every 3 months was a little bit something different. Mm-hmm. Maybe throw in a text. I've been looking at, these text software programs where you can do text blasting. I'm not there yet. I wanted to try and see if I could land a couple of deals and then use that money to fund other marketing channels.
So I've got several recommendations, but what I would say for you, given the fact that you're working 60 hours a week, which sucks, I've been there. You've got 200 leads a month for your probate leads. You're getting 650 leads a month. I would start a marketing campaign, just sending a postcard, and then I would let that kind of work itself. It's going to take 10 days for those people to get the postcards, get them, and people that are interested are going to start calling you back from that.
Right.
I would wait and see what that generates. I know that's exactly what I did when I started. I did not cold call. I did not text. I did not do anything other than with my leads that I was generating from driving for dollars, I just started the mail campaign. And that generated enough to keep me busy for a single person doing it. I was busier than I could handle. So I would recommend, let's just get those postcards going and get them out in people's faces with both of those leads. I don't know, there's other lead generation things you could do in the market in Oklahoma. Are you in Tulsa?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a market that I know for sure. You could pull a vacancy list off of DealMachine, and you could add those leads into your pool of leads. So if that way you at least have enough for the next 3 weeks. I'd start a batch of 250 postcards a week. Just get them out there, get them going, get that cycle going, and then just wait for that phone call. Obviously, you want to try to be as responsive as you can. If you get a call, answer it, because if they're calling you, they're interested.
Right. And I can do that. I've got that flexibility. If my phone's ringing, I'll be able to answer it.
Yeah, perfect. Try to blast about 250 to 300 postcards every week. Sunday night, that's usually when every Sunday night, I go through, filter what I want, find the 250 leads, the mail goes out on Monday. So that would be my recommendation. And then, like I said, just wait for the phone calls to come in. I think you're probably going to get a decent amount of phone calls, a decent amount of response from direct mail. Direct mail has been super good for me.
Hey guys, if you know you want to quit your job in the next 3 months, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast, because we've got some incredible frameworks with step-by-step instruction that you're not going to want to miss. Also, leave us a rating and review to let us know your favorite parts and why you want to get financial freedom.
Let's talk too so you're from Oklahoma, right?
Yes.
Okay. So on your postcard, let's just make sure everything is as good as you can as far as setting up even your postcard. You haven't sent any mail out yet?
No.
Okay. So DealMachine's got tons of great templates for postcards. So pick one. I use the block. David, I don't know if there's a specific one, but I use the block. It's got four blocks on the front. Picture of the house, a block that says, your blurb about being interested in buying. And then on mine, I don't think I can share my screen, can I? No, I can't. On mine, I have a picture of me, my wife, and my 3 kids. Even just put a picture of you on there so people get that facial recognition. And I did not do this for the first 6 months I was doing marketing. I didn't do any of that. But then later, I joined a mastermind, and they're like, "Oh, add a picture to your postcard." And I'm like, let's try it. And son of a gun, that alone started, people would call, and they're like, "Yeah, I saw your picture." I'm like, man, okay, well, let's just put the picture on there now. So add a picture of yourself, professional image, just you smiling, whatever. Put that on there, gives a personal touch. Verbiage-wise, on my postcards, I kind of make it a little bit more friendly sounding. I give them, "Hey, I'm a local real estate investor to your market. Interested in purchasing houses in your area." I deleted the "I can close quick with cash" verbiage because it's clicky. It's what everybody uses. So I just took that out and just said, "I'm interested in buying your house. If you'd like to talk, or if you'd like some information on how I could help you, give me a call." So that'd be the other recommendation as far as the actual postcard itself would be. You can set that up. DealMachine, it's super easy, super user-friendly.
Do you put call or text before your phone number?
I do, yep. Call or text.
Right. So you have multiple options. Do you include an email address?
I have an email address.
Do you include a website?
I have a website. You don't have to put a website. Yeah, and return address, if you're using, I don't know if you can get this set up quick enough, but a P.O. box would be nice because
I've got a street address. I use the UPS store, and they give me a true address, not just
perfect
a P.O. box. So
that'd be great.
I got that going. Hey, so talk to me about how important is, you mentioned the website. How important is that in this stage of the game?
I wouldn't worry about it right now. Let's just get some lead generation going.
Okay.
And then website, once we have maybe a few deals under your belt, then we can talk about getting a website. A generic website launch would be something you could do later on down the road, but not necessary right now. What else? Any questions?
So what kind of target I've seen? So I'm shooting for about 2,000 leads a month is what I'm trying to spin up to, with my brother doing the driving, me doing driving. So is that a good target?
That's a lot of leads. That's a ton of leads. So I think that what will end up happening is, great, 2,000 leads, awesome. But are you going to be able to keep up with properly managing your marketing with 2,000 leads a month? Probably not. Yeah. So maybe scale up to that. 650 from Driving for Dollars is great. And I think Driving for Dollars is the most effective way to generate leads, because you're literally going out and identifying distressed properties. Pulling a list is good because these are vacant houses. You pull a lot of distressed landlords. You pull a lot of tired landlords off of that. And then obviously, all three of your methods of pulling leads are effective. The probate stuff, obviously, people don't want to keep the house in the probate situation, so that's great. Generally, those are far less leads, but usually when you get one, they're going to be good. The Driving for Dollars, you'll probably pull a lot of leads, and it generates about equal to what the vacancy lists would pull. A lot of the ones that are Driving for Dollars, you're going to get duplicate from the vacancies too, because if they're distressed, they're probably not occupied.
I'm all about trying to find prospects that are not on anybody else's list. I understand. I'm the folks that I talk to on the probate mail, they're getting beat up. They're getting postcards and letters. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to, I even have been kind of screening out the the driving per dollar stuff. If it pops up on any other quick filters that you got on DealMachine, I'm taking those and kind of putting them in a separate list. So, okay.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't necessarily put a huge amount of stock on pulling 2,000 leads. I'd say it's always slow is fast, fast is slow. Like start with a small batch and get some generation going. Get your 250 out per week. That way you can have a good, okay, how many calls did I get from that? You can start seeing what was working. And then once you have some statistics to put behind your lead list, then it's like, okay, well, if you want to add 2,000 leads a month, that's great. But manage that list. One time I had like 80,000 leads in DealMachine, and I'm like, holy hell, like why? And I couldn't touch them all. And it was just like, it was great that I had that many leads, but I wasn't managing that list. And I would rather you just keep a manageable list first. Like make sure that you're updating the status on these. If they call and say they're not interested, get it changed in DealMachine that they're not interested. So that's a dead lead for you. And then we can talk again later too about, setting up a plan, quarterly plan, so that you're mailing them an extra postcard, once every 3 months. I've not found it necessarily effective to blast mail them where they're getting 6, 7, 8 postcards real quick. I've learned that pisses a lot of people off, but it does get their attention. But sometimes it's like, just get one out there, see what it does, and then a couple weeks later you could start again. Yeah, so I'd target doing 250 postcards, change your postcards up to personalize them a little bit, aim at sending 250, and then pull that vacancy list out of DealMachine I would go with Tulsa. I know that market's effective and people are buying there, and there's plenty of distressed properties. So
yeah, cool.
Okay, Jeff, what were your top 3 takeaways from this call?
One, to not try and go too fast. So it's kind of like coffee or fine wine. It's got to kind of percolate and age at the appropriate rate. The other is just some validation on, some of the marketing methods that I am using, that those are leveraging my time the most, even though they may cost a few dollars to do that. That's what I've got to be doing now. And at some point in time, I got to figure out how to transition. Whenever I start generating some decent cash flow every month from deals, I contract the work so I can start spinning that back a little bit and slowly, gradually graduate into a full-time thing with this. That's my plan.
Awesome.
It'll happen fast.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, I'll take it.
Sweet. Just a couple things so we do this DealMachine Masterclass every Wednesday at 2 Central. So if I know you're busy working, but if you're ever free during that time, feel free to tune in. You should already be getting those notifications, I think, if you're...
I am.
Okay, cool, yeah. Well, cool. Well, that's it. Thanks, man.
All right. Hey, appreciate you guys, and keep up the good work.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.